Welcome to my very first garden tour. Yes, I feel like people dress up for their garden tours, so I did the same. Very excited to welcome you into the Savage Garden.
I'll be your dream, I'll be your wish, I'll be your fantasy.
So, in my last video, we went over my tomatoes. They are all doing wonderful. So, yeah, they're a little stunted. They're not so tall, but they're getting ready to produce. Nothing has produced yet. They started a little early, and I pulled off the first blooms just so they would put a little more effort into growing. But they're doing quite well. Up here on this first row, I have 3 Black Beauties, and then I have 3 Dad Sunsets. Then over here we have our giant ones. We have our 4 beefsteaks. So in between my tomatoes, I've got a couple different things planted to kind of help with companion planting and just maybe try to deter some of the pests, the bad pests, as the best of my ability. So I've got some marigolds, and then also some dill planted. This is mammoth dill, and that's going to help with some of these shallow-mouthed pollinators, and it'll attract them with like the ladybugs and some of the beneficial wasps, things like that. Further down the row, we have squash. Now, squash is producing pretty well. This squash was started for us by my friend Farah. Now, to try to help out, so when I first planted these, I had them underneath the Agribond cloth, and so I recently pulled it off so that because it's a little bit more mature. That way, hopefully, it'll help fight against some of the squash vine borers and stuff like that, the moths. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So far, everything's looking pretty nice. Wade and I, Bubby, what did we do this morning with our squash?
I don't know.
We hand pollinated.
We pollinated.
Yep. So we got a Q-tip out here and just tried to help a couple of the blooms and stuff. You know, it doesn't hurt to give them a little help. But also, I've got some beautiful bee balm right here. And we have had this one, I'm not sure if it's one bee, but there has been a consistent bee coming to this bee balm, and I'm sure it's gone now because it's a little bit later in the day, but it's been coming. I got a picture of it, made a little bit of video on my phone. I might try to put that in here, and that again is for the pollinators. It's one of the things I wanted to try to do is plant things that attract beneficial bugs and kind of deter some of the non-beneficials. You kind of take a little turn, and you've got a long row here in the back where I've got not so much planted, but this is neat. I saw this on Facebook. So this is a bean trellis made out of an old bicycle rim and then a long pole into the ground, and then I planted these are just pole beans that I then I tied the ropes. I didn't really tie it, kind of just wrapped around there. I didn't want to tie it in case the wind grabbed it. I didn't want to ripping the beans out of the ground. But so far they're doing pretty good. You can see they're all kind of attached, so I'm hoping they'll start to wind up the string and make this pretty neat little thing going on here. So the end of this row is my loofah. Now, I gave my first loofah that sprouted to my buddy Jeremy, and it was actually the one that did the best. This one had a little bit of a struggle, but so far it's looking like it's kind of starting to come back. Loofah will climb, so I'm going to, once it gets a little bit bigger, I'll do a trellis over here so that it can grow a bit and things like that. At the very end of the row, we have a beautiful little flower here. It's one that we got from the seed swap that was a hazelwood, and I have no clue what it is. But it's pretty. Has been producing a consistent flower. Now, our other row. Oh, there's a garden cat. That's on me. So on this row over here, we have our peppers. First part of the row are the peppers that my mom wanted me to plant, and I have no clue what they are. I lost a package. I know they're like a little bit sweeter pepper. They're not hot. So I've got 3 that survived the transplant. One, also the aerosol that happened from the hail.
Oh, hell no!
And then we've got another dill over here. This one's actually doing really well. Again, for the pollinators. And up further, we have our bell peppers. And again, you can see starting to produce some. Right there. That's very exciting. Can't wait to get those out and make some stuffed bell peppers. Woo, delicious. And further up, we got a marigold. You can see that marigold. And then for the first time, I decided I wanted to grow some okra. So I didn't plant too many. I didn't start too many. So I just have 4 okra plants in here right now. But you can see they're doing nice. I can say, for the most part, other than my squash, I started everything from seed. So that is a very big accomplishment for me. I'm extremely happy about that. You all, if you watch my channel, if you're new to it, my tomatoes are small due to the fact that they have been in the ground for such a long time fighting frost and hailstorms. But they have done swimmingly, and they are doing well. I'm hoping that we can produce at least something off of them. You know, we're still getting there. We'll see what happens. But over here, in my beautiful little bird bath, I have another plant that my friend Farah gave to me. This beautiful nasturtium, and it's beautiful. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that, but it is, and I love it. And then you have Zoe's bee balm over here, and then right next to it, we have your common yarrow. I'm a little worried about this one, to tell you the truth, because I heard it will spread. But you know what, whatever. I have my black-eyed Susan. I got that one from Jess, again from the seed swap. I think Zoe got it from her. And then we have another small flower called the Iceland poppy. You know, just adding to the beauty. I want to give the pollinator something to see. You know, it doesn't hurt to have a little color. You know, a little beauty other than the yellow flowers from like your squash and the tomatoes and things like that. So just add to the beauty. And then we have this over here that is our Vancouver Centennial. It's a geranium, and it's done well. It's been planted since before the frost too, and it actually did okay. And then we had this nice little trellis that is chocolate mint. It's actually been over by my other small garden. I moved it over here to help just hopefully fight some of the non-beneficial insects. And then we have my beautiful pickling cucumbers. Second round. First round died. And they died because I put them in the ground a little too early. That's the theme of this year, is things going in the ground too early. And then some more tomatoes. These first 4 are the black strawberry, and then between them I have another marigold and some more dill. These last 3 on the end are my Abe Lincolns. Then on this side again, some more tomatoes, dill at the very end, marigold, another nasturtium over here. On the back end, these are my San Marzanos, and then the first 4 right here are my Annan Noirs. And then in this bucket, and then this little bucket over here, pink hummingbird mint. And it is in the mint family, that's why it's in the buckets, because I didn't want it just taking over my whole garden. And I don't know if you remember I did say this in a video. I got this ice plant right here, and again, I put it in the ground a little too early and the frost got it, but it did start to come back. So I'm very happy with it. It was super pretty whenever I first got it and stuff. So that's the main garden. Then we step over here and we have our potatoes. 2 potato patches. I don't know the type of potatoes. Chastity planted these. She got the seed potatoes and she told me where to put them, and I said yes ma'am. Now up here is my little experiment. I mentioned before that I wanted to try to do the 3 sisters, and so right here is my 3 sisters. There's 3 holes for 3 different types of corn. I have a strawberry popping corn and then a sweet corn, and then another corn. I believe this one that I just picked it from the seed swap. Zoe wanted me to put it in the ground, so I did. They're tall enough. I've got I just put the beans in with them. This first one, which I believe is my strawberry popcorn. These beans are starting to pop up now, and hopefully they'll start crawling up the stalks of the corn. Hopefully something happens. Well, you know, they might be too close. There might not be enough corn. It's this garden season, this first garden, is a learning experience for me. But I am very happy so far with what I have, and the fact that I started majority of this stuff from seeds. Even that corn, I put those in the ground from seed. The beans, everything, other than the fact that the squash came from my friend, but she started those from seed too. So far, though I have not produced any fruits and I'm not able to enjoy the fruits of my labor yet, I love the fact that I get to see it starting. And I am very hopeful that we will be able to produce fruits from this garden and be able to eat it ourselves and enjoy it. I cannot wait to make my very first tomato sandwich this summer. I also cannot wait to find out what these are. We talked about this in the last video, that they just start popping up. So I'm very happy with my garden. Thank you for joining me on this my very first garden tour. I know it was kind of weird. I don't really know how to do a tour, so it was fun. I dressed up for y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm a little hot. It's quite warm this evening. So appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you in the next one.